Hey guys, what is up? It's Jim here. Today I have a PPK tutorial. I didn't know I would actually be able to make this tutorial. I'm pretty sure I told most people that I would not be able to make this, but I did take some time just to watch my video, and I was able to make it pretty quickly. So um, I'm giving you the file and the building guide in this video. So if you're gonna use the file, make sure that you do not try to resell it or give it away as yours, because you can get in trouble for that. And also don't bring it outside, because even if it's rainbow, it can look like a gun since it's meant to replicate a pistol. So yeah, that's pretty much everything. Let's just go ahead and go over this pistol a little bit, and we'll get on to the building guide. So the slide does work, and I don't know if I said it in the video for the PPK, I'm pretty sure I did, that the rubber band is the same one as the triggers. So I will teach you a bit later how to put that on properly, and hopefully you'll be able to understand it from explaining it with the mouse cursor. The hammer does of course work. It gets pulled back really far just because of the rubber band attachment piece. So one thing you can see here that is a bit different than the video one is that this is lowered, which was just to make it look good from a side perspective render in Studio. But I do recommend just raising this up. I just haven't bothered changing it yet. So trigger does of course work, mostly. You can attach a suppressor. The magazine is actually a tiny bit bigger, just because of the other way I made this grip. So this piece will be a little bit unsturdy, much like it was on the P229, but it's not going to be too big of a deal. So it's still gonna be really sturdy with the magazine in. So one thing I've seen people saying is that they don't have the slope pieces to make this, and if you don't have the slope pieces, then I mean, there's one option, and that is that you can stack pieces like this. Like if you don't have these pieces, you can use this instead. It will not look as good, but it will work. But for these pieces, you can probably do the same, but it's not going to be very comfortable, much like if you would do that at the front. But I mean, if you really do want to make this, then I think that's a sacrifice that you can definitely make. So yeah, I think that's pretty much everything for this model. So let's go ahead and take it apart, and we will start the tutorial, which by the way is very easy to follow because I make sure to go through it well. So let's go. Okay, so we're going to start off with the magazine, which is pretty much just stacked bricks. And there's the magazine. If you do have some smaller hands and you don't want this part, then you can remove it, but generally you do want to keep that. So that's the magazine. Then we go over to the slide, which is a tiny bit more complicated, but it is still very easy. I do recommend to use some plates that are in good repair, because if not, it will cause quite a bit of friction. So you can see this one piece here that I've used, which is a 1x4 with a stud on each side and then just smooth in the middle, and it is very important to have, because this allows the barrel to be quite a bit bigger, and the front of the slide to not be so tall. So if you don't have this piece, what you could do is you could just take a 1x4 tile and then tape on the sides, which is a really illegal technique, but you could do that if you really wanted to. But yeah, you could also just use 1x1s here instead of having this middle piece, but I do recommend just making it completely as I am to make sure that it works and looks just as it should. So these pieces are also really needed. If you don't have these arch pieces, then I'd recommend, I'm not sure, you would probably have to resort to some bricks and plates, and then try to use some cheese slopes to smooth it out, but it is kind of essential just for the nice smooth look that it has. This is the rubber band attachment point right in the back there, which has to be a flat one. It can't be the one that's pointing the other way. This is the fake safety switch. And these pieces you can raise up if you want to, so you don't get this weird edge, which is what I did in real life, but I did this just for a good looking render in studio. So that is the side completed. Now we will begin with the grip. So also, if you want to, you can switch this piece out for one with a stud on the side, and you can slap some studs on each side to represent the screws. So this is the middle part of the grip. Which will just be attached by plates. So we're slapping some 1x2s on the sides just to make sure that it looks nice and flush. This is the trigger stop, which is pretty essential to make sure that your trigger doesn't just end up here. So this is the trigger. Very traditional trigger design that I use with the 1x4 end stop piece, and then I did decide to just use some Technic pieces here just because they look smooth. So that just gets attached right in there. This would be the right time to grab a fairly small rubber band. You do want a rubber band that is about the length of a 1x6 plate. So you want to put that in here. You want to make sure that it rounds off in the back here, so it kind of loops around like this, goes in each roller, then gets pulled up over here, and then hangs over here to the side. So of course this red piece is just to have an LDD so I can actually pull the slide back. So this piece might be kind of hard to find. It is a 1x12 plate. And a lot of people might not have this, but you can use a 1x10 with a 1x2 on the end. But so these pieces are for the suppressor. A few finishing touches with the beaver tail and the hammer, which is just a claw piece and a 1x1. And then the final bottom piece that goes on the grip. And that is your receiver and grip. And now we can go and put these together in LDD. So in real life, what you want to do is you want to get rid of this piece temporarily, and you'll slide this under here, and it'll probably be held in by friction. You will then take the rubber band that is hanging right here, right now. You will take that and put it in there. Then kind of hold it up against the roof. So then you will slide in the front here with this piece going under the barrel. Then you will click your slide down on this piece. Then you can test the slide a couple of times. If it doesn't really work, you can pull it off and then put a smaller rubber band in there. So, of course, just remember that this piece is supposed to be tiles, so that you don't think that this is gonna work. And yeah, make sure that the rubber band piece clears the hammer when it goes over. So of course make sure that the rubber band sits all the way in here. And yeah, then you should be fine to put your magazine in and have fun with the pistol. So as I said, don't bring it outside, no matter what color it is, because it can still look quite a bit like a gun to anyone. So yeah, hopefully this pistol was really enjoyable, and make sure to request some more guns, not necessarily more tutorials, but just request some guns, and I might actually make some LDD tutorials for them, and then I'll of course make videos for them. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the PPK. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys. Goodbye.